Hey guys, Coast Confusion here. If you've been following this channel, you probably know that I've been working on a model drop tower project for a little over a year now. I've been procrastinating a lot and I've been pretty busy, but if you haven't seen the previous videos, please go check those out. But here's just a continuation of some progress I made, I think from September to now in January, so I'll just let you watch what I've been doing. So for here, I have basically finished the panel and it's ready to program, so we will start building the tower. I just added a buzzer to the panel just to add some realism, some sounds. I plan on actually programming this thing after I have the tower built, since it will be using a stepper motor, and I just want to see like how many rotations will bring the cap to the top and stuff. So I feel like it'd be easier if I already know how to program a stepper motor, so once it gets to that stage it'll be pretty easy. Now here I'm just cutting out some wood for the base of the tower, basically where the tower will be sitting, and it will house the motor. In terms of dimensions, this thing is about 8 by 8 inches, about 4 inches tall, so it's decent size. It's around the same size as the panel itself. I was more concerned about the height of the base and the length and the width, because I just wanted to make sure the gear could fit in there. The reason for the extension of the length and the width was for a balanced look. Alright, so now all the wood is cut out for the base. Next, we'll be moving into the prototype mechanism. This is basically just a mini replica of how the tower mechanism is going to work. In between, I'm just working on trying to program this because I'm not a C++ pro, I'm teaching myself, but I ended up getting the stepper motor to work with the panel. Here's how the prototype mechanism turned out with the wheel for the timing belt, the gears, and the center support. The gears are turning nice and smoothly, so we're gonna have to move on to the building the real thing. Now I'm just drilling some holes in the center support. This is where the gears will go. For aesthetics, I'm just going to paint this support a blue-green color. Now I'm just printing some parts with the gears and to install the gears, and here I'm just hammering that into the support. This just reduces friction between the two surfaces as the gear turns. Now these colors are reminding me of the 3000 series from the Rigid Retro. So now it's time to assemble the base. I have these pieces painted, and here is the assembled product. Now I will say the box is a little crooked, but that doesn't really matter at this point. Here I've printed a very, very large gear that I'm having trouble taking off the platform. This will be driven by the stepper motor. I'm sorry you had to watch me do this. Getting back into it now, we're going to assemble this gear and attach it to the stepper motor. Thankfully all the dimensions were perfect, so everything fit nice and tight. Now recently I've been getting really lazy with super glue drying, so here I just use a soldering iron just to melt the plastic. This way it just melts in a few seconds. Now we have a support that the motor will sit on. This just basically keeps it in place and keeps it at the correct height. I'm just gluing it here. And I know I'm explaining this really late in the video because now this might seem like a waste of time, but I end up not using this motor in the end due to some problems which I'll discuss later. But here I am testing out the motor with the panel. Basically I'm just resetting the system and then it just runs one rotation. So as you can see, I'm basically just testing if the gears will turn, and that's working pretty well right here. as you might have noticed, the outro music has started, and that means the video is coming to a close. I'm sorry to disappoint you on this cliffhanger, but I will briefly explain what the problem is. So basically the stepper motor I have is the 28BYJ-48, and that's a cheap, commonly used motor. So here I'm going to test out the timing belt system, and I go to do that and discover that more torque is needed for this project. As you can see, the gears are engaged, but the blue gear is not strong enough to turn the yellow gear. The 28BYJ-48 is definitely not the kind of motor you'll find in a 3D printer or any other CNC machine, so I'm going to switch to using the NEMA 17, which I took out of a broken 3D printer, and in the next video, we will be getting that motor to work. So stay tuned to Coaster Confusion for more coaster and, well, I guess, project content, and be you, keep riding coasters. All clear, I'm out of here. Goodbye.